Welcome to Airborne-Flight Training. Coming up on this week's episode. Lawsuit alleges ATP openly retaliates against CFIs in lawsuit. Air Force begins test pilot school upgrade. Southwest mandates additional pilot training. And I'm your host, Holland Lee. Welcome to Airborne Flight Training, a weekly program dedicated to future aviators and aviation professionals. Airborne Flight Training is brought to you in part by King Schools. King Schools has been leading the effort in producing expert aviation training programs and computer-based learning software for over 50 years. Find out why pilots love King teaching at kingschools.com. Now let's get into today's stories. Lawsuit alleges ATP openly retaliates against CFIs in lawsuit. Legal action alleges that ATP wrongly fired those who opted to join a lawsuit against it and explicitly stated the only way to get rehired is to withdraw from the case. Getman, Sweeney Dunn, the law firm representing the instructors, said they filed the lawsuit against ATP for allegedly misclassifying its CFIs as independent contractors instead of employees and failed to pay them all they were due. ATP did not pay them the time-and-a-half overtime rate even above 40 hours per week, nor were they paid for ground training not associated with a specific flight. GSD brought the suit under the Fair Labor Standards Act and also under wage payment laws in 26 states as well as under overtime pay laws in 14 states. It subsequently filed an amended suit to include the state law offenses. On September 9th, ATP fired at least 13 instructors who opted into the nationwide collective action when it received notice of the amended lawsuit. The school explicitly stated the terminations were because of their participation in the suit. As a result, GSD immediately contacted ATP and when they were unable to reach the school's lawyers, filed an emergency motion with the court for a temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction. ATP has not yet responded to our questions. More to come. After the break, House passes bill restricting DJI drone use.
Well, hello, fellow pilot. I'm John King.
And I'm Martha King.
You know, we've all had our flying lives disrupted lately.
Well, King Schools is here to help you stay up to date with courses that you can access on your desktop, iPad, or iPhone. If you'd like a refresher or just want to expand your aviation horizons, we have a course for you.
So head over to kingschools.com/rusty today for details.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. House passes bill restricting DJI drone use. The House of Representatives passed H.R. 2864, the Countering CCP Drones Act. This would add future equipment made by DJI Technologies to the FCC's covered list on the premise that it poses a risk to U.S. national security. The Countering CCP Drones Act would essentially ban UAS and related tech produced by DJI from operating on U.S. telecommunications infrastructure. This trails several, quote, inaccurate and unsubstantiated, end quote, claims against the company regarding sensitive data shared with the Chinese Communist Party. Flight and Sporties enter collaboration. Sporties has entered a collaboration with Flight, a portable flight sim platform for mobile devices. The companies have integrated their flight training programs for new aviation learners. Sporties Learn to Fly course provides more than 15 hours of 4K videos that cover the usual basic ground school information, such as aerodynamics, weather, airplane systems, airport and flight operations, instruments, and more. There are also interactive in-flight video segments so students can see what's supposed to happen inside the cockpit with the instruments and what it actually looks like outside the windows when performing a maneuver. Class action filed against Volato for WARN violation. Terminated employees have filed a class action lawsuit against Volato for alleged violations of the Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act, or WARN. The complaint accuses the fractional jet company of failing to provide 60 days notice before executing mass layoffs. The class claimed that Volato fired over 233 of their employees without giving any warning. This may be a clear breach of the WARN Act, which requires employers with over 100 employees to notify staff members at least 60 days before significant layoffs or plant closings. Girls take flight at Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport. The inaugural Girls Take Flight event will be held at Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport in Ontario on September 21st. This free event is designed to inspire girls to explore careers in aviation and aerospace and empower them to know these careers are out there and within the reach of anyone who decides to pursue them. The airport is partnering with Ports Toronto, Newport Aviation, and Stowport to present a unique opportunity to be immersed in the world of flying and other aspects of the aviation world. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Air Force begins test pilot school upgrade. As Edwards AFB's Air Force Test Pilot School approaches its 80th anniversary, it's undergoing a significant transformation. TPS is updating its curriculum, enhancing staff development, and expanding its research capabilities to address the complex great power competition. The upgrade is inspired by the legacy of Lieutenant General Jimmy Doolittle, a trailblazer in flight testing and military innovation. Doolittle received a Medal of Honor for his assistance in the raid on Japan during World War II. Major General Scott Kane, commander of the Air Force Test Center, said, quote, "We are proud to carry on the tradition of excellence that Lieutenant General Doolittle exemplified. Our goal is to prepare our graduates to be the test leaders of tomorrow, capable of leading multidisciplinary teams and advancing new capabilities for our warfighters." End quote. The plan aims to align TPS's objectives with the broader goals of the Air Force Test Center. Key initiatives include a modernization of the curriculum to incorporate emerging technologies like big data, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. New courses are being introduced to provide a more narrow focus on these areas. This also marks the launch of a dedicated year-long student cohort for space testing. TPS staff are getting a revamp of their own with the introduction of a formal test instructor course. After these messages, Southwest mandates additional pilot training.
I'm currently using the Hartsel Talon, by far the best aerobatic propeller ever come out.
I use the Trailblazer. It adds performance to the Super Decathlon and dependability, and it's rugged.
Hartsel's been an excellent partner for Whip Air, just in terms of your product support as well as keeping an eye on the market and developing new products that meet demand.
It's helping us all have better performing airplanes.
It's such a proud honor to fly behind that propeller.
Welcome back. Southwest mandates additional pilot training. Southwest Airlines is stepping up its safety precautions by mandating additional pilot training. This decision follows a string of incidents and an intensified FAA safety review, which highlighted weak spots in the carrier's operations. A Southwest memo stated, quote, "Over the past few months, we have seen an increase in safety events. Meaningful work is underway to address these events and advance our safety," end quote. Starting in November, Southwest pilots will be required to attend one-day training sessions at the airline's Dallas headquarters. The new training initiative stems from an increase in safety incidents. In April, a Southwest 737 MAX 8 was attempting to land at Lehu Airport in Kauai when the pilot accidentally entered a 4,400 feet per minute dive, coming within 400 feet of the ocean. On June 19th, another jet descended to approximately 525 feet above the ground while still 9 miles from the airport. Then on July 14th, a flight came within 150 feet of the water on a 5-mile final to Tampa International Airport. Southwest Airlines leadership noticed this collection of near-miss incidents and initiated an internal review. The FAA also stepped in and launched a review of their own in July. The FAA has been working to step up its overall airline scrutiny, with United Airlines under a similar review following similar lapses this year. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.